so b'tzafro d'Shabbat, lo b'yaz mikbohash, lo b'yaz mikbohash, lo b'yaz mikbohash, lo b'yaz mikbohash, lo adiko kadisho, hey, hey.
What is the Rabbi's Megadim?
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another day of lunch break with the Rabbi. Today is a little bit later than lunch break as we're going to have it right before the holiday of Sukkot. Sukkot begins tonight. It's a mitzvah to eat in the Sukkah tonight. And then on Sunday will be the first opportunity when we can make the blessing on the four kinds, on the lulav and the esrog. Yesterday we spoke about the four kinds and how each and all the mitzvahs of the holiday represent unity of the Jewish people. Today we will further expound on that concept. Amongst the four kinds that we have, there's the lulav, there's the esrog, there's the hadassim, and the aravas. The palm tree, the citron, the willow, and the myrtle. If you look which one's very expensive, the esrog is very expensive, the lulav is also costly, the hadassim are also very costly. The cheapest one and the easiest one to find is the willow. Go wherever you want, you can find the willow. But there's something unique about the willow. We know that we explained yesterday that there are the four kinds of the lulav, and each one represent another one of the kind of Jewish people. As the date tree, as we know that the palm tree or the dates that come from it is a good taste, but not such a good smell. The esrog has a good taste and a good smell. The myrtle has a good smell, but not such a good taste. The willow is the one that has no taste, no smell. Even though, still in all, there's something unique. If you recall, on the holiday of Sukkot, we have a custom that we go around the bima with the Torahs every single day once, and then on the final day of Sukkot, on Hoshana Rabbah, we go 7 times. This is to remember the custom that was done in the Holy Temple, which was called Hoshana Rabbah. There was a big willow that would be on the side of the altar, and all the Jews would go around the altar, and because of that, we remember it by walking around the bima. There's an interesting thing, however. The day Hoshana Rabbah, which is next Friday, will never come out on Shabbos. Never will Hoshana Rabbah come on Shabbos. Hoshana Rabbah is the same date as Purim will be, and as Lag BaOmer will be. Hoshana Rabbah will never be on Shabbos. And that is because of the importance and its quality of while we have to celebrate the concept of circling the bima with the arava. The question is, why is the arava so important? If the willow is the cheapest amongst them, it's the one that symbolizes zero, no taste, no smell. Why is it that the willow is the one that is the most celebrated? Take it even a step further. Every single one of them symbolizes another one of the Jewish people. The esrog is the citron, symbolizes a Jew, which has Torah and mitzvot. The willow and the lulav is one that has Torah, no mitzvot. The hadassim is one that has mitzvot, no Torah. The willow is a Jew, has no Torah, no mitzvot. And still in all, that is the willow. That was selected to be the one by the altar that you always revolve around. Why is that? Let me tell you a story. Back in 1946, I should say. 1946, right after the end of the World War II, many Jews were trapped behind the Iron Curtain. And Jews were not allowed to leave Russia, go to the Western world. They only allowed at that time, right after the war, if you had a Polish passport, you were allowed to escape and go back to Poland. Many Jewish people, my great-grandmother in the lead, helped forge Polish passports to be able to get Jews to the other side of the border and get them out of communist Russia. However, there was one such fellow, his name was Beryl, and his wife, who tried escaping the border, but what happened was they caught him on the other side and they sent him back to Siberia. Forging passports and sent him to Siberia. He comes to Siberia his first week there, and they put him into a place where he was supposed to tailor, he was going to sew wallets and things like that the communists had that they would then sell. And he's thinking, how can I desecrate the Shabbos? I've never done it in my life before. But he's thinking, 1 second, I'm in Siberia. Maybe there's no choice. So my life's in danger. But then he said, 1 second, how can I stand up for what's right if I'm always going to think my life's in danger? But then he said, 1 minute, I have my tefillin. If I desecrate the Shabbos, they'll let me put on my tefillin. What should I do? He said, you know what? I want to be able to keep on putting on tefillin, so therefore I'm going to desecrate the Shabbos. So he starts taking the needle and is about to sew. Then he says, no way, what am I doing? I've never desecrated the Shabbos in my life before. I'm going to do it in Siberia. God put me here for a reason. I will not do it. He put down the needle, stood up and told the commander, I am not sewing any wallets. Find somebody else to do it because I'm not desecrating the Shabbos. The commander looks at him and says, wow, okay, I have a better job for you. You are going to be the guard to watch that nobody steals any wallets. This way you don't have to desecrate the Shabbos. The Earl is shocked and amazed. Since when does the commander or guard even care about him keeping the Shabbos? The guard, seeing his amazement, tells him, says, you know why? He says, lately we've been having a lot of stealing from that warehouse. A person who is so committed to his faith, I know is an honest person as well. And therefore, I know you're going to be a good job watching that warehouse. The same idea is also watching our Jewish faith. Judaism tells us, there's a lot of rationales for everything. The moment we have a rationale, all of a sudden I can rationalize anything and not observe anything as well. Judaism tells us, what is the key survival for Judaism? What is something that never stops? What is something that will never even happen on Shabbat, that custom can be for eternal? It's something which is beyond intellect, that has no taste and no smell. What kept Judaism alive throughout the ages? It wasn't the great intellects, it wasn't the great scholars. It was the simple people doing the mitzvahs just because God told us to do it. This is an important lesson when it comes to education and teaching our children. There's a lot of things that have reason and logic, but why do we keep a mitzvah? Why are we going to be sitting in the sukkah tonight and making the blessing in those 4 kinds on Sunday? Is because God told it us. There's lots of good reasons, but the reason that keeps it alive is because we're following God's commandment without any rationale. When we stand up to what is true, realize what is strong, and realize that we have an opportunity every single time we do a mitzvah to be proud of what we're doing and to get that connection with God, then there's nothing to stop us. We're unstoppable. Even Shabbos doesn't stop us from doing that mitzvah. This is the symbol of why the willow was chosen. The willow is teaching us we're beyond intellect. Judaism is not a rationale, is not an intellectual exercise. It's something that connects you with God for eternity. My dear friends, wishing you a Chag Sameach, a happy and healthy holiday. May you celebrate this Sukkot in true unity, in good health, and with absolute joy. We'll see you after the holiday, wishing you the very best. Good Yom Tov and Chag Sameach.
Let's do